Sports fans, due to the length of the full breakdown, we are breaking it up into 3 parts on YouTube. If you want to watch the whole thing right now, click over to our website. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for the other parts to be released in the coming days. The movie Hoosiers starts with credits over the gorgeous Indiana landscape. Up until the 90s or so, every movie had credits to start, but hardly do we ever see that now. The first time we see the iconic Jim, the silent star Jimmy Chitwood is just lacing up his Chuck Taylors. One question, why the heck do people install windows in gymnasiums? You're always getting blinded by the harsh winter sun. But it does give you that cathedral look, and it becomes quite clear that religion plays a huge role in this film. This is the first time Coach Norman Dale gets to see Jimmy in action.
Our new coach. Hi.
We don't know why Jimmy is so quiet, but you can already sense he's got demons and a wet jumper.
Real friendly town you got here.
It's time for the first practice, and I wonder if Coach Dale would have done this differently. When taking over a new program, it's best not to ruffle too many feathers with the parents in the first few weeks. That said, it's hard to believe this guy could be a worse tool in this movie than he was in Major League, but he manages it pretty well.
Look, mister, these boys got a routine they're used to. You throw a new coach with newfangled ideas at them, might get them all confused.
Well, first of all, let's be real friendly here, okay? My name is Norm. Secondly, your coaching days are over. Leave the ball, will you, George? Well, those of you who don't know, my name is Norman Dale. I coached college ball for 10 years, but it's been 12 years since I've blown this, so I'm going to be learning from you just like you learned from me.
It's also a good idea to establish authority with your players right off the bat, and mission accomplished.
Right now, did you hear what I said? Me? Yes, you.
Sure, I'm just curious to know when we start.
We start when I say so.
Okay, would you kind of let me know, because I'm kind of getting
All
tired
right,
of standing.
out of here, right now.
You kicking me out?
Yes, don't come back until you learn to keep your mouth shut and listen.
While these two guys leave the gym, they'll both be back. Of course, Jimmy is doing the creepy lurking in the shadows thing. Let's look at some of the drills they're doing. This is a good one to learn quick reaction and develop wrist strength. We've lost the art of passing with more of your wrist than your arms. And here's the first introduction to Coach Dale's philosophy.
Be real clear about what we're after here. The 5 players on the floor function as one single unit. Team, 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 right? No one more important than the other.
Here's another old as dirt drill tossing off the backboard, and there's value with timing and ball control. Big props to Coach Dale multitasking, working on the defensive slide and chest passing at the same time. This could be my favorite, the foot fire drill to develop quick feet and leg strength, and most of all, toughness. And I really like the beginning of the hop on the whistle, working on explosive turns.
We got some concern about the way matters.
And even more conditioning with suicides, just like we've been doing for 100 years.
Feels like we're in the Army.
You are in the Army. You're in my Army. Every day between 3 and 5.
And I love the little salute.
Well, that was Coach Ted.
Of course, no coaching experience would be complete without complaining parents, and Coach Dale gets a huge break when Whit's father comes in to force his son back on the team.
Won't happen again. You're the boss.
Okay.
Then ushers everyone out of practice.
Bend your knees.
Even in 1954, coaches had to recruit, and it's clear to Norm that he has no chance of winning many games without Jimmy Chitwood getting off the dirt court and jumping on the hardwood. Jimmy doesn't dip much, and he shoots from the side of his head because he's shooting 10 toes to the rim. But it's beautiful out of his hand with the release. Coach does a great job of reversing roles. He doesn't blow sunshine at him, making it look like he doesn't care if he plays or not.
I don't care if you play on the team or not.
A great little detail that he misses the only shot of the scene on Coach's exit.
Absolutely no shots until you've passed off 4 times.
Another big theme of the movie is passing 4 times before shooting the ball. Why 4? Probably in an attempt to ensure everybody touches the ball at least once before shooting.
How many? 4.
With Coach putting on his jacket during the prayer, the theme of organized religion versus agnostic sports is established, and we'll see how these two things might not be as different as Coach thinks. Here's a feeling every coach has had just before the first game of the year, and this was probably a tough Steadicam shot because they go from the dim lighting of the stairwell to the bright gym in one shot. I love how they run layup lines with a handoff instead of a 15-foot pass. Hickory High gets caught with their pants down on this really nice jump ball play as the ball never touches the ground. Without a shot clock, teams could take their sweet time on offense, but there is simply no movement to this offense, making it easy for the defense to force a steal and get a layup. We finally see an off-ball screen, and it's out of the UCLA high post, where the wing hits the high post, then sets a down screen for the guard. As you'll see, this is the play they run almost exclusively on the right side for virtually the entire movie. On the entry pass to the wing, they're running a very stagnant 2-1-2 zone offense, even though it's against the man-to-man. And Everett gets away with a big shuffle of the feet on this turnaround, something he'd never have gotten away with back in the 50s. On the other end, the team almost runs the triangle corner option. After the cutter goes through, they do a very nice split. And here's something interesting, a pin down as the ball handler comes around to get a layup. In another movie, Jimmy would be the silent loner who ends up killing everybody, each one with more creativity. I like the idea of 4 passes, but come on, coach, you've got to teach them how to set a weak side screen if you're going to do that. Of course, there's the sheriff who thinks he runs the town and can go anywhere he wants. While the religious town folk want their kids to ignore the team, this is like Coach Dale's chapel, and his holy trinity is actually 4 passes.
I know what I'm doing.
Raid, who's always talking back, feels the pressure of the town on his back and uncorks a nice one-footed runner from the free throw line without passing. Then he does it again in defiance of his coach. When the coach loses trust that a player will execute the game plan, there's only one choice: send the manager in for him.
Ollie, go in for Raid. Now, move! Come on.
I do like how Coach handled this. He knows that Raid understands why he came out, no need to chew him out. And of course, the phantom foul on Merle is his 5th, and we really get a chance to see if Coach Dale's faith in his system is as strong as the town folks' faith in religion.
Where are you going?
In the game.
Sit down.
What do you mean? We gotta have 5 out there.
Interestingly, while most players look on in disbelief, it's the pastor's son who stares almost reverentially. Notice how the music evokes the raw positive emotion as a distinct dichotomy to the town's objections and anger.
My team's on the floor. What are you trying to do?
These locker room scenes were shot as one take, which really helps the actors establish a sense of realism. Also notice how everyone has their head bowed, almost in prayer, except for the pastor's son, who holds his head up. As with any team, the coach has to use any method at his disposal to gain the trust and respect of his players.
What I say when it comes to this basketball team is the law, absolutely and without discussion.
Next game, here's the UCLA high post at work, except they run the pin down to cut along the baseline for the shot. Nice drive, and we can see the defender make no play for the ball. And I agree with Coach, this should have been a flagrant foul. That said, once he made his point and got the technical foul, he should have just sat down. Instead, the coach completely instigates this with insults and finger pointing, culminating in this.
Your players are playing like a bunch of gorillas.
Who you calling gorilla?
You, for one.
Bust up.
While this is a chance for Raid and the coach to bond, it's a little bit much to make light of a sucker punch he just threw that should have gotten him suspended from school, not just the team.
Got him going, didn't I, Coach?
Yeah, you did.
Why wait for parts 2 and 3 to come out when you can watch the whole thing over at BBallBreakdown.com? Click on the link on the screen or down below in the description now to enjoy the full-length breakdown of Hoosiers. You in?